How we doing, guys? This is Leo again. Today I'm going to show you how to tape an angle. It's not too difficult. A lot of people like to tape them real wide. I don't tape them wide, I tape them narrow, because on my finish coat I like to be able to cover the tape and the mud, the width of the mud coming down the angle. Now what I've done is I've already gone around this house. I've taped the flats and butt joints in the house, and now I'm doing my up and down angles all the way to the ceiling, so that when I get up on stilts, I'm not on stilts that long. I prefer not to spend a lot of time on stilts. It takes a little bit more time to do things. A lot of people will get up on their stilts, they'll tape their flats and butts, tape the ceiling angles around, and tape them down a foot. I prefer to tape my my up and down angles all the way up to the ceiling instead of that extra little foot, and it's, to me, an extra move. That's unnecessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about this much mud, about half a blade on my 4-inch knife, and all I'm going to do is start on the top and bring it down. And I don't want it that wide because I don't want that many strokes. Any light spots you have, you're going to want to fill them in so that your mud is even all the way up and down the angle. You also don't want to cut. If you hold your knife straight out like this and you pull, you're going to end up cutting mud off this side of the angle over here. And what that's going to do is create a blister. So I filled that back in real quick. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to cut a 45 on a piece of tape, like so. That allows me to go tight into that corner, so that when I make my freeway up there, it's very tight, and I don't have to worry about cleaning too much. Now for me, I start at the bottom, and I wipe a little bit at the bottom to make sure the bottom is completely clean, as trim guys tape mud all over the bottom of the angle. They have to end up chipping it off, and it takes them more time to trim the house. And in reality, if you keep them nice and clean at the bottom, you're going to get more work, because people are going to talk about you and tell the builders that they like you because you're keeping it clean for their project. The same thing goes for the electricians. I don't fill up my boxes and my flats with mud, because I know a lot of us drywallers don't really care too much for electricians, but if you keep them clean, it just looks a lot nicer. Anyway, that's one angle. I'll show you one more over here, if I can get the camera set up right. Let me see here if I can find a spot. Try to brace it right there. Now this one's got a corner bead on it, and it's got a box. Now I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera. Again, I'm taking just a half a blade of mud, and we're sticking up the top and come down. Now when I get around the box here, I'm just going to take a little bit, because I don't want mud all up inside the box. Now I'm trying to make this even all the way up. I want an even layer of mud, and I don't want any light spots. Again, light spots, if you can see the little bit of darker gray through the mud, you are definitely going to get a blister. So if you can't make it as narrow as I am, that's fine, but you want to make sure you have an even layer. Now again, I'm going to cut my little angle on it. So it's a 45, like so. Or not quite, just enough for that point to touch the ceiling. And I'm going to right up against the ceiling. And I'm going to bring it straight down. Now I'm creasing with my finger and my thumb as I go down. Now, if you have your mud narrow enough, you're going to be able to just wipe down at one time without having to take too many strokes. The less strokes that you have to take while finishing, the easier it is, and the more time you're going to save. Now, when I do my ceiling angle, let me switch it up here. No, I can't switch it up. When I do my ceiling angles and I get on stilts, I'm going to tape that little butt joint right here. And then I'll come across, I'm left-handed, so I run to the left. A lot of people are right-handed, so they'll start here and they'll put mud on the bottom. And then you're going to come across the top like this, start your tape here and go all the way down there. When you wipe the bottom first, and then you wipe your top, and you're starting right where you stopped wiping mud. Hopefully you understand that concept. It will save you a lot of time. Anyway, have a great day, and I'll talk to you again.